right, thanks everybody for coming out. Episode 2 of LGR Coaches Corner. We got Mr. Jamie Gonzales here, LSU Eunice Junior College. They play in Region 23, which consists mostly of Louisiana and Mississippi JUCOs. Coach Gonzales is in his first year, taking over a great program, and he's really taking that to another level. They won their Louisiana division and advanced to the second round before they matched up with Jones, probably the juggernaut of the Region 23. Came up a little short, but they made steps in the right direction. Coach, we appreciate you coming on and giving us some of your time. You want to talk about LSU Eunice and your program?
Yeah, thanks, Chris, for having me on. Our program is in the Louisiana Community College Athletic Conference. The team has been undefeated for 3 straight years. This was the 3rd straight year being undefeated in conference. Like Chris has said, we won a playoff game this year. It was the first playoff game the program has won in 13 years. We met up with Jones County, who was number 10 at the time in the nation. We were winning at halftime and then shot 18% in the 4th quarter, which kind of led to our demise. We were pretty much led by 3 sophomores, Claire Lee Richard from Sulphur, Louisiana, Ava Jones from Karen Crow, Louisiana, and Leisha Stubberfield from Delhi, Louisiana. So majority of our players are right now, all of our players are from Louisiana, mostly Southwest Louisiana. Next year we have a kid coming over from Texas, possibly another one. But we take a whole lot of pride coming and representing the boot. That was kind of our thing going into Mississippi. We were undefeated against Mississippi schools going in the Region 23 tournament. Then we beat Southwest Mississippi Community College in the first round. We came out on fire, really led early by 20-something points and then allowed them to get back in the game. But we were pretty much in control the whole 4 quarters. And then the game against Jones County was really fun, really exciting. I mean, we shot 52% in the first quarter. We shot like 46 in the second quarter, 42 in the third quarter, and then 18 in the fourth. And I've got 8 years experience in the Army, so I used we had 3 clips and we needed 4, So, I mean, we literally, Chris, we were on fire. I mean, we had them on their heels a couple of times and just they had too much talent over there. I mean, and they got a kid going to Cincinnati, Memphis, Alabama, UAB. They got a kid that's going to Minnesota that didn't play, but I mean, Missy's always put together a real good team, and they're one of the top 10 programs in the nation, possibly top 5. So, I mean, I was really proud of our girls and the way we battled really all year long. But that game was kind of like the epitome of our season. We battled everybody, and we just couldn't beat the really good teams. We ended up 21-7. We lost, but the 7 losses were by an average of about like 8 points a game.
Wow.
So nobody blew us out. Our worst loss was like 11 or 12 points. We finished in the top 25 in offense in the nation, which is incredible. We had a kid finish in the top 10 in steals in the nation. Leisha Stubberfield, the kid from Delhi. Ava Jones from Karen Crow, she was in the top 10 in scoring for like the first month of the season, which, she didn't finish that way, but it was incredible that she was doing it at that time because we were playing some of the best teams in the nation during that time. So we did a lot of real good things I'm proud of, just looking forward to next year.
Yeah, no doubt, Coach. I think you've done a great job hitting the ground running. With it being your first year, you took over a program that had some success. as far as in Louisiana. But I think like you said, you've taken it to a whole new level. I want to congratulate you on a lot of the girls you signed here from Louisiana. You can really tell that you're doing your homework and you're getting kids that are going to fit your program. How do you think you take the next step to win Region 23 or get a bid to nationals? How does your program take that next step?
Well, I think it really is about bringing in our type of player, our type of person. I mean, we didn't cut anybody originally off of the team that we inherited. We ended up losing a few girls throughout the season, but I didn't come in. I didn't bring in my own, group. I did sign 3 players when I got the job, but I didn't do any cutting per se till after I gave the kids an opportunity to show me what they bring to the table. And it wasn't really about that. The reason why we cut them because they just weren't meeting expectations on the court and off the court, in the classroom as people, kind of our expectations of who we want the Lady Bengals to be. And that's kind of that's how we recruit. We necessarily don't go out there and recruit the best player with the most points and all that. We're looking for a specific type of human being, a kid that first of all wants to be at LSU Eunice. I'm not chasing folks around. I want people that want to be a Bengal, and we want kids that do well off the court academically, and that's not the typical JUCO fashion. So we're totally different. I mean, even our campus is totally different. It's not what you see on Last Chance U or it's not the typical JUCO thought process. There's not many problems going on at LSUE. So, that's the biggest kind of obstacle I've had to face being here is, parents that are worried about their kid going JUCO because they hear a lot of things, they see a lot of things, and that stuff doesn't go on at LSUE. It's a really special place. I think Coach Willis, the AD, head baseball coach, has really done a really good job. He's won 6 national championships, and that whole dynamic has brought the whole culture at LSUE to be just something totally different than other JUCOs I've been at. And, what I think the perception is from the outside looking in.
No doubt. That brings me to a question I was going to ask a little later. I'll go ahead and jump down to it. In Region 23, Mississippi especially, they have so many JUCOs there, and it's more of a norm. Everyone's family's had somebody that's went to a junior college. Here in Louisiana, we don't have as many. Last episode we had Coach Bob Austin from NAIA. That seems to be more of a better look, I guess, or whatever. Can you educate, like you kind of talked about it a little bit, but educate our girls on our JUCO is not a one-stop and you're done. It's a stepping stone. It's a place where it's not all, like you said, Last Chance U. Just kind of ad-lib a little bit more on that for me.
Well, I think the biggest thing that the girls need to understand is, if you really want to play basketball and you really put in the time and the effort, that there's a place out there for everyone. There's so many schools in the United States that have women's basketball. You're going to find a spot. A lot of people think that, if they go to JUCO and they don't make it, that's kind of the end of the road. Like saying weighing their options between, let's use LSUA, weighing their options between LSUA and LSUE. A lot of people would take LSUE because they think, LSUA because they think that that's a 4-year commitment and, they're promised those 4 years. Well, for one, that's not a true statement right there. Your scholarship is a year-by-year basis on any platform, except for, I believe, the BCS is a 4-year commitment, I believe. But tying that into just what you want to be and where you want to go, as I was saying earlier, if you really want to be a basketball player at the 4-year level, coming to LSUE is going to give you that opportunity to bridge the gap, to possibly enhance your skill level to where you're getting better looks, or higher looks. I shouldn't say better looks, just, higher level looks, the D2 to D1, or even, a higher D1 look, versus low major versus high major or mid major. So it gives you that another opportunity to grow and get re-recruited. You since we have nothing but freshmen and sophomore on the roster, you have a better opportunity to get significant playing time as opposed to going to a school with juniors and seniors. You're competing against nothing but freshmen and sophomores. So that's another big difference is, what a lot of people I don't think ever register in their minds is coming out of high school, a young lady is 17 or 18 years old, okay, and they've always played against other people that are 17, 16, 15, 14, maybe even 12, okay? Well, just that jump from high school to college, if you go to a four-year school, now you're playing grown women. You're playing women, some are 26, some are 25, majority are, 22, 21, and 20. But even that is a significant difference than what they had been playing in high school and in AAU. So, I mean, that gives you a LSUE junior college kind of gives you a easier bridge or a more compatible bridge to cross as far as the type of level you're going to be playing and the real opportunity to actually play.
I love it. That's all great information. Side question, completely off the wall, like to ask everyone. It's your first year at LSU Eunice as a head coach. Who was the first coach that you went against that you felt outcoached you?
I would say that at the end of the day I was outcoached.
Yeah.
Man, I would have to say Angelina's coach, Byron Coleman. We played them twice, and the first time we almost got them over there in Lufkin, and then coming back over here, it was only like a 3-day turnaround to where we played them again at our place, and I figured we would have the edge, because it's a home court advantage, and we had only lost by like 6 points, and I just playing somebody the second time, I feel like we do a good job of scouting and all that to begin with, but seeing somebody the second time, and at your home place, you really think you got a good chance. And it was a good game. We only lost by 4 points and whatnot, but I really think we should have had that game. And at the end of the day, a situation like that, I put it on myself. I think coaches make that difference, in those tight games. His experience probably got me.
For sure. That's awesome. Great story. So moving with more towards your team during this Corona madness, what have you guys been doing? Bob with NAI brought up a good point. I think they only get 24 weeks to work with, or 26 weeks to work with their girls. What's the junior college rules? What are you guys doing now as a team? You trying to keep up with the girls, send them workouts or anything like that?
Yes, we interestingly, the day before we were told things were going to shift to the girls going home and whatnot and going on online classes, we had a meeting about individual workouts and us moving forward. And we went from coming up with a plan and putting it all together to having the meeting with the girls about what the next 6 weeks was going to look like for the end of the semester with workouts and weights and conditioning and all that. To the very next day, literally the very next day, telling the girls that they were going to go home a week before spring break, and they weren't coming back. They were going to online courses. So what we did do was we took our summer workout plan that me and another coach put together 4 or 5 years ago, and we extended that out to start at basically the end of March. We extended it from the last week of March all the way through the first week of August. As far as accountability situations, we've academically and athletically, we're kind of probably pretty crazy. I mean, we have logs that the kids have to fill out. We've got our team separated in 2 different teams. They've got a captain in charge of each team, a player that's in charge of each team, and then a coach is in charge of each team. So there's a chain of command there. For academic reasons, the girls have to take screenshots of their assignments that they turn in. They got to show us their grade. But even before that, they fill out a log of things that are supposed to be turned in for that week. Okay, so if they got 4 classes and they've got a quiz, a test, and an assignment due, they've got a log, they got to put which class, what assignment to detail with specificity, of actually what the assignment is. And then they've got to show us a screenshot that they turned it in. And it's the same way. They also have to talk to a teammate every day, somebody that's on their team for I think it's 3 minutes is the time frame, and they've got a screenshot that they've actually done that, and it's not so much about, teamwork and being cohesive. It's a lot about, hey, we're stuck in our houses and all we're looking at is our parents and our siblings. We want our girls to, continue having a social life outside their little circle. So they have to send screenshots every day. They have to talk to a teammate. They also have to video themselves working out 3 times a week and send that as well. So there's a lot of extra stuff that, they normally wouldn't have to do, as far as keeping their logs and turning their stuff in. But it helps us kind of keep them headed in the right direction. I mean, we've got 2 kids that have already committed Division I. We've got 1 kid that is getting recruited by several Division I. So, I mean, these sophomores really have things that they're fighting for, and we're doing whatever we can to help them get there, considering we're confined to our homes. And, I mean, we don't touch the kids every day. We don't see them every day, a lot. Some of them are working jobs. So we're trying to help them keep organized, the best way we can. We have Zoom meetings as a team. I've actually got a Zoom meeting scheduled for tomorrow for next year's team. Okay. And what they don't know yet, you're going to know this before them, is they're going to be expected to read a book. We're all going to read a book together. And every week there's going to be 3 chapters that they read. And at the following week, we're going to have a Zoom meeting, and as a team, we're going to discuss the 3 chapters that we read. And there's going to be an outline that us coaches have put together about what they need to get out of the 3 chapters, so they could take notes and come to the meeting with their ideas and their thoughts about the chapter and the, kind of the outline we've set for them. We're doing that 'cause I think we could get a tremendous step ahead of everybody else with, next year's team, given the circumstances. Those kids coming in, they have the same workout as everybody else. So I'm not expecting them to screenshot the stuff and send it to me, but I mean, we're going to know August 17th who did the workout and who did it. I mean, it's very apparent who's getting stuff done.
Sure.
But based off of our meeting yesterday, all the girls talked about, the time that they're spending, working out and getting shots up. So, I think everybody's just trying to do the best that they can in this situation.
No doubt. And that kind of leads me into my next question. I'll partner the two of them together. For potential student athletes, girls that are in high school now, what advice would you give them, A, at this time now, and kind of like B, what can they do now, kind of like similar to what you're giving your girls, and B, what about the recruiting process? We got a lot of 2021s that are panicking at this time, thinking that we may not have a evaluation period. What advice would you give to anyone from a potential student athlete?
As far as workouts is concerned, everybody's limited, with weight room, gym time, and stuff like that. So the more creative you could be at getting in a workout, whether it be just a body weight workout, getting shots up in your yard or your neighbor's yard, you could do ball handling in your kitchen or in your garage. Like the most you could do, is, the good thing about this is everybody's in the same boat. But like I said, you're gonna know in August who took advantage of this opportunity to get better, even though the circumstances aren't great. There's several workouts online. Like if your coach hasn't given you anything, there's several things online. Twitter puts out a bunch of stuff. There's several different people out there that have taken advantage of this situation and, thought about the kids at home. They've put out workouts on Twitter. I don't want to promote any certain people or things, but there's stuff out there for kids to do. If anybody wants to email me and ask me directly, I'll give them those names and give them some apps that I would suggest. I just don't want to do that publicly. What was the second question, Chris?
As far as like a PSA, I would say most importantly, the 2021 is 22.
Right. I would say, first of all, don't jump. Don't take a leap really quickly. Don't make a quick decision. These coaches will call expecting an answer on the phone call, which I think is outrageous. The last thing I want a kid or the parents to feel like I was pushing them in and trying to take advantage of the situation. I've had two different offers on the table since the end of January, and we just got the commitment. You've seen it. We just got the commitment on a couple of them on last week, and me and you talked about it before about we've been waiting on those kids, and we waited, and it was all about that, all about use that time. These coaches and these players need to use that time to get to know each other in that waiting period. And I tell our players, that are getting re-recruited, make them coaches court you, make them show you that they love you. And, my best advice is don't jump into a situation, because a lot of those quick decisions lead to, the transfer portal.
There's a lot of them in the transfer portal right now.
All these coaches have time, and if they're not calling you, if they're not spending time with you, answering your questions, and a lot of that, like the players have to take the time and really have a thought process about what they want in a program and a coach. And, they really need to set with a parent or with a coach or somebody that they know that cares about them to help them come up with, a good thought process of what they want in life and what the direction that they want to go. And, making quick decisions based off of fear is not, the coaches are going to be out there. The ones that you really want to play for are the ones that are going to do the work in October and November anyway. I don't want to pat our program on the back, but I think one of the biggest reasons why we were successful with this recruiting class is because when we weren't practicing, when we weren't playing games, we were in this Sulphur High School gym. We were in St. Louis. We were at LaGrange. We were at, Iota and Lake Arthur. And I mean, we were all the way out in Gonzales at East Ascension. And we were just grinding and working and showing these kids that we really want them. I mean, I was at every playoff game I could be at. And at the end of the day, I think it all paid off. And I see some of my peers out there just doing the least bit to try to get a player. And I think players are starting to become savvy about all of that, the people that are trying to cut corners and don't want to develop relationships. It's talked about on Twitter, man. It's talked about in phone calls to parents, and it's sad, but I think if a player does their due diligence and puts a thought process together about what they want, and goes out of their way to mold the relationship with a coach that they're interested in just as much as the coach reaching out to you. Okay. I don't want a player that doesn't want to be at LSU Eunice. I'm not chasing kids around. If you don't answer my phone call, if you don't answer my text a couple of 2 or 3 days, I'm moving on. There's way too many players out there for me to be chasing folks that don't want to be at LSU Eunice. And I think that's where we're different is, we've got nearly a whole roster ready to go next year. And I believe every single one of our kids want to be at LSU Eunice playing for us.
It's awesome. I love it. That's how the kids say that. That's real talk.
Right.
Look, Coach, I appreciate you, man. Is there any way that any of the PSAs, parents, anybody wants to get in touch with you or follow you on Twitter? You mind sharing your social media?
Shoot, if I knew it off the top of my head, I wouldn't mind. I mean, you may know that better than me. I think it's something like Coach Jay Gonzales. But if they looked up LSUE's women's basketball, that's probably the easiest way to do it. And I'm on that. They could put two, match it 2 and 2. I appreciate what you guys do at LGR. Y'all really do a lot for these kids. I see you guys out just as much as I see myself out, and that's a huge compliment, because I think we bust our hind parts at LSUE looking for the gems in the gym.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Coach, I appreciate your time again. Looking forward to you and your program. I really think y'all gonna make a step in the even to the national stage, man. You're doing a great job, like you said, hard work and just grinding out there. So appreciate your time again, spending it with us. For everyone that's watching, please take this time, subscribe to our new YouTube channel. We're coming with a couple more college coaches now. We got an NAIA perspective and a junior college perspective. So thank you guys.